Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another excellent episode of Culture in Maine, York's weekly cultural showcase. Tonight, we're about to head out of the studio and over to one of our favorite off-site locations, the wonderful York Emporium used bookstore and curiosity shop, headlined by none but the best of York icons, Jim Lewin, that fabulous owner and proprietor who let us borrow his stage for the night. We're bringing you a wonderful social justice poet, performance artist, teacher, and activist who traveled all the way up to York from Baltimore. His name is Ron Kipling Williams, and his one-man show, Dreadlocks, Rock and Roll, and Human Rights, is an exploration of several different characters that he all manages to embody as they explore their interactions in a world where race, justice, ideas and preconceptions all come together. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's charming, it's honest and real, and it's just a great piece of theater. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy this special episode showcasing the very best excerpts of the one-man show by Ron Kipling Williams, Dreadlocks, Rock and Roll, and Human Rights. Theater right in your living room. Enjoy.
Culture in Maine.
It is a place where the truth should be kept.
The arts and music scene really shows what people are about.
Share what's going on here in York.
It makes you feel like a family.
Local art has a face that most people can relate to.
A community up here that sticks together.
Art is art.
Great potential with great artists, poets, singers, writers, directors, filmmakers. It's fantastic. Everyone has a story to tell.
You have to capture that moment and share it with the rest of the world.
Showing something that maybe is not been seen before.
Without art,
I am art. I've been art ever since I was born.
It really adds a great deal to our community.
we don't really need art to exist, but you need art to live.
Culture in Maine is important, and I think playing out is important, and playing open mics and playing wherever you can play. It's all about us all checking in with each other.
We all live in a ghetto submarine, a ghetto submarine, a ghetto submarine. A pig with a fist and a pot of collard greens, pot of collard greens, pot of collard greens. Hey, Booty! Hey! You know you got my money, right? Yeah, I'm gonna come get you, man. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, man. No. Keep messing around me, see what happened, yo. Mm-hmm. Hey, man. Hey. You waiting for the number 5? You waiting for the number 5? Damn, your hair's long as shit, man. Damn. How long you been growing your hair, man? 15 years? 15 years? 15 years? Damn, hair long as shit, man. I bet that shit go all down to your dick, don't it? Big old dreadlock, motherfucker. Hey, Booty, I see you, man. No, don't run from me now. Yeah, man. Big dreadlock dude, man. Look at you. Well, look like Black D's. Big old black dreadlock. You Ross, ain't you? Ross, ain't you? Yeah. I know about Molly. About Molly. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. I know about that big old black dreadlock Jesus boxes. Big man. Little baby Jesus though, man. You big. You big man. No, you big man. You got be eating those nuts and locusts and shit like you did back in the day. Yeah, I know about all that. I know about that. No head like last bull, feet burnt like prom. You know what I'm saying? I know about all that shit, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's alright, man. You cool, man. You a writer? Yeah, 'cause I see you out there writing, you know what I'm saying? You a poet. You a poet. For real. You a poet. I got something for you. Check this out, right? Hold up, let me get myself together. Alright, check this out. Between a rock and a hard place, between a joint and a death space, that is how I came to be. My mother said to me, there's no patch in my quilt, but it's outside built. And the clock struck thrice and the streets were of ice, and there was nowhere else I could go. So I hung out on the street where the junkies did be, and the street was not found, and it was only one sound of my innocence falling to the snow. One day I did creep to where the murder rate leaped, to the house my mother built, with a missing patch in a quilt, and a gun poised for someone to be snuffed. She looked at me with those eyes. You're a junkie, she said, and you want to eat my bread, and you're waiting to see if I'll run. Out in the street were two junkies to meet. I remember my innocence in the snow, wondering if it was me or the painful reality of living in the projects of this land. And a woman called mother who had blown my deep cover shouted, "What are you going to do?" Almost forgetting who was who as I lunged for the piece in her hand. So here is a scene I set up for the screen. Another family in the project broke down. The household shivers were built by cold rivers, meek and innocent train. Between the rock and the hard place, between the joint and the death space, that is how I came to be that. Between the silence and the shouts, it was my mother who survived.
My name is Ron Kipling Williams. I am a spoken word artist. I'm a performance artist, a human rights activist, a teacher, and a student. Spoken word artists focus on poetry, where performance artists focus on a variety of artistic mediums. It could be everything from dance to poetry to acting to miming. It could be a whole variety of things. So that's where I make the distinction. Essentially self-taught. I did do, for a number of years, I was in community theater in Baltimore. So that's where I was practicing my chops, both in theater and in the spoken word scene. But, you know, all of what I've developed on my own. So it's been years of just going into the lab or putting it in the pot and just stirring it up until some things happen.
Hey, dude. Hey, dude. What's up? What's going on, man? Something wrong with your car? You know? You got some battery issues, you know? Something wrong with your battery? Hey, dude, I know you, man. Yeah, I see you around campus, man. You're into like that goth stuff, man. You know, kind of like looking like Edward Scissorhands and all that shit, man. Ugh. Look, that's your thing, man. I don't know, man, but like, it's like you weren't like that before, man. Like what happened, dude? You know, it's like first you were like everybody else, and then you did this thing, man. It's like you got handcuffs and stud belts and boots, and I don't know, man, all black, like it's Halloween or some shit, man. I don't get it, man. You know, I don't know. Hey, man, you see that girl, Caroline? Yeah, man. You know, yeah, she hot. She's like totally hot. You know what I mean? Totally hot. You know, I'm totally gonna nail her, man. She really is into me, man. She really digs me, man. And I heard she takes the butt. Yeah, so I'm gonna totally get that, man. Like totally like butt steak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, dude, you know, like I don't understand, man, because like you can get any black girl that you want, man. You know, if you like stop dressing like that shit, man. You know, I had a black girl once, you know what I'm saying? But like it got all weird because she wanted like a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I had to let that go. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm saying? Look. I'll explain it to you, man. Because like I feel like I could talk to you, man. Because like because like you're like black, but you're not black. You know what I mean? Like you're black, but you're not like you're cool for a black guy. You're not like one of them. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like I can say these things like like you're not like threatening or anything like that. You know what I mean? So like okay, let me share this with you. Like I hope you won't get pissed or anything. It's just like there's like a whole lot of white guys here on campus, right? And they they love to go with black girls, but like their family like totally disown them. You know what I mean? it's like a really bad situation. Like, it's just, I guess, it's racism, if you want to deal with it like that. It's just, really it's not, because it's like class, you know what I mean? It's like, like you wouldn't go out with like a poor black girl, you know what I mean? Like, that it's that kind of thing, so really, you know what I'm saying, man. We're cool, right? We're cool, right? So I don't know, man. It's like, I wish we, I don't mean like be cliche or anything, but like Rodney King, like, can we all get along? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. So, dude, man, let me ask you a question. For real. Let me ask you a question. Can I borrow those handcuffs of yours?
Social activism.
For me, it's really self-reflective. Throughout my life, I was focused on not just discovering my voice and finding my voice, but fighting for my voice. And as I did so, I saw that I could be a catalyst to help others find their voice and fight for their voice. It is a human right to be heard. That's why we have in the Constitution freedom of speech. But often people feel silent. And it has been my position that no one should be silent by any measure, regardless of who they are, regardless of from where they come. So, to me, human rights and performance is really about the roles that we adopt to achieve the goals that we want to achieve, if that makes sense.
Hey, what's up, yo? What's going on, man? Man, your car dead, your car stuck. What's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? Yo, man. Yo, what you looking like, man? You look like some sort of freak, man. What's going on with you, man? Huh? What's up with that, man? That boy George, whatever shit you got going on, man. With the goddamn boy, you got that what they call them stud things, man? Yo, you got handcuffs. What you doing with them handcuffs, yo? That's some freaky ass shit. That was like with some Edward Scissorhands like freaky type shit. But what you doing, man, yo? You look like what they call them metrosexual testicle, whatever thing you got going on, man, nowadays, man. Yo, are you black? Are you black? You don't look black. Man, what's going on with you, yo? Man, you can't come around looking like this, yo. Yo, they will straight bank your ass, yo. Word is born. Word is born. You better be getting out of this town like real quick, yo. You can't be going. You better go out to the suburbs, man. And white folks are, man, because they will jack your shit up. God damn, man. For real? Yo, man. You gotta be black, man. For real, you gotta change that shit up. Tell me for real, on the real side, you gotta change. Look at me. Look at me. I'm 100% original black man. You know what I'm saying? Bonafide, certified black man. That's what you gotta be, man. You gotta be hard, yo. You can't be soft. You can't be soft looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Looking like you just came out of a salon or some shit. Man, come on, man. Nah, man. This ain't kind of society, man. I'm telling you. Word is born. You better get out of that shit, man. You gonna get your ass seriously right. I'm telling you. You know how I know? You know how I know? Let me tell you something. These white folks out here, they will hang out with you. They will let you fuck their girls. But you will never be one of them. I'm telling you. They will straight up deal with you, yo. And I tell you, no, first of all, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to tell you for real, okay? So, okay. You better not say anything. Fucking word. All right. So, this is how it went down. I was in college, right? Yeah, motherfucker, I was in college. Yeah, I was getting my degree in cultural anthropology. Yeah, I could do all that code switching. All right, how you doing? Yeah, I could do all that shit, man. Don't fuck with me, man. So look, this is how it was, right? So I was in college and I was with this girl, man. She was beautiful, man. White girl, right? She had brown hair, she had green eyes, she was beautiful, man. And it was like, man, we had this thing going on, like a symbiosis, man. It was like me and her, and we go to Portuguese, we go to museums, we talk about art, we talk about culture and history, we had this mad connection, man. I mean, we were like in love, man. And so check it. This is what happened, right? So one day I get this phone call from her father, right? I'm like, first of all, yo, how did you get my number? And he's like, don't even worry about that. I said, look, I don't want you dating my daughter anymore. You don't come around my daughter or else. I said, or else, yo, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to talk to me like that. He said, or else I will make your life a living hell. Turns out, her father was a lawyer, well-connected and everything like that. He said, I will make your life a nightmare, man. And, I've seen a lot of my homies, they go under the jail and shit, man. For like trumped up charges and shit. And I didn't want that, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I come out of the hood, I'm doing my thing, I'm doing good, I'm in college and all of that. I didn't want none of that to get messed up, you know what I'm saying? So, I had to do what I had to do, man. So, I stopped calling her. She was calling me all the time. I wouldn't answer the phone. And it got to the point where she came by my crib, man. She came by my crib, and then, I had to do it to her, man. I told her I didn't love her, that this was all bullshit, it was just for pussy, and I don't want to put you no more. And she was all red in the face and crying, talking about she hated me. That was the worst thing I ever had to do in my life, man. I think about it every day. So no, man, you can't be soft, you can't be sensitive. You gotta be hard, man. You gotta deal with this motherfucking world. You know what I'm saying? You know what? You do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm out of here.
Again, developing my voice, asserting my voice, and then advocating for those who cannot advocate for themselves, and then helping those who could to discover their voice and to uplift themselves accordingly. There's an African proverb that says, I am we. So, I am because we are, and we are because I am. I don't see them as separate. So as I prosper, we prosper. And as we prosper, I prosper. And I can teach, I can mentor, I can be a student, I can perform. There is no, other than being in school and learning, and being in school and teaching, and going to a stage and performing, those are, yes, in those instances I play a role. But in my everyday life, I can go out and I can be any of those. It all depends on the situation. If a person comes up to me and needs mentoring, boom, I'm there. If there's a situation where, hey, we need you to perform this piece, boom, I'm there. If there's a situation where there's a teaching moment, I'm there. If it's time for me to sit down and learn, I'm there. We are never one thing. We are many things, and we can be many things at one time, or many things during the course of time.
Ron, come down the stairs. Ron, I know you're trying to go out the house tonight. No, I don't want you to go out tonight. It's a blizzard, Ron. You're not going to down to that trash place, that gay, with the gay nightclub. No, we're not going down there tonight. No, Ron, I need to talk to you. No, I do not disapprove of this sort of behavior, Ron. Okay, now I want you to sit down and we won't have. Don't roll your eyes at me like that, Ron. Sit down. We want to have a conversation, man. Listen to your mother. Okay. Now, you can tell your mother, okay, if you can. All right. I know that you've been hanging. Look, listen, don't get up from the chair, Ron. Listen, I've been talking to because I was very concerned about this cross earring in your left ear, and so I wanted to learn more about it, and so I talked to my coworker at the State Department, and she told me that a man with a cross earring in his left ear is a sign that he's gay. Okay, so I just want you to think about it, Ron. You don't want to be lumped into these other sorts of fellas. You don't want that sort of reputation, Ron. Ron, don't go away. Ron, where you going? It's a blizzard out there!
In regards to tolerance versus acceptance, in this society, we focus on just tolerating people, tolerating groups, where we need to begin to, and we begin to see this through marriage equality and immigrant rights, which in one sense are very polarized issues because it really segregates people, but the overall landscape is we should be moving towards acceptance of all people because we are people, because there's one race, the human race. And so we should be looking each other eye to eye instead of up and down in hierarchical structures. You know, we all come from we all share much of the same structure, same DNA, blood, everything. So we should not be looking at each other as the other, which to me is a very repugnant way of looking at people because there's so many ways in which we are connected. So I've been focused on that and really the underlying ways in which we decide to differentiate ourselves, whether it's through political ideology, whether it's through religion, whether it's through culture or whatever. I mean, we come from different backgrounds and we should appreciate each other. But when it gets to the point to where we say, well, I'm not going to connect with you because I am different from you, and these are the ways in which I'm different from you, to me, that's a huge problem. It's a fundamental problem that's been with us for a long time. But we continue because we're comfortable with that. We continue to engage in that kind of ideology. And to me, that's very destructive. We are not evolving as humans. You know, our technology evolves, but our human technology, our human wealth is not growing. And because we decide to make those distinctions, those differentiations, and then follow accordingly, and treat each other accordingly, instead of brothers and sisters in the global village, we're going to continue to do that. We are not going to evolve. We're not going to prosper in the way in which we could. There's so much more that we could be as people. And if we just lower those things, if we just level those things, you know, if we level that box, because really there is no box. There is no box. We talk about being outside the box, around the box, all of that. There is no box. Absolutely not. That's a fallacy. That's something that we create. It's not something that exists, you know? So we actually create our boxes, we live in our boxes, and then we complain about our boxes. It's insanity.
Ron, turn off that music and come down right now. Sit down, Ron. Turn off the television. Now. Sit down. Now, there are a few things that I want to say to you. Pay attention. Be a man. Sit up. Sit up. You are 13 years old and you are going to act accordingly. Your mother and I have been very disappointed. You have been screwing up your grades. You have not been doing your chores. This is not conduct of a young man who is supposed to be going to. You come from a middle-class household, a black middle-class household, and you ought to be ashamed of how you're going. You look at all these other kids. They're advancing. They're getting A's. They're getting on the honor roll. They're choosing their careers. And what do? You're screwing up. You stay up in that room of yours and do God knows what. Now, you claim you don't do any drugs, but you haven't found any drugs on you. Yet. But let me tell you something. You better straighten up. I've been watching how you're dealing with some of these other guys in the neighborhood. And I really don't appreciate you spending all this time out there with them. And I told you this. That's why I had you sit down there and watch that television program, Scared Straight. Let me tell you something. If you don't straighten up, sit up and don't look away. Look at me. If you don't straighten up, you are going to end up like those guys in Scared Straight, with a 6-inch penis in your rectum. Now, As usual, I've done most of the talking. What do you have to say to yourself? What? You're doing the best you can. You're depressed. Son, I've heard all those excuses before. That's why we send you to them. That's why we send you to these activities, these camps, and things like that, so that you can improve yourself. And all you've done is lowered our expectations. I'm telling you, son, we are this close to sending away the boys. We just don't know what to do. We are throwing up our hands. Now, go upstairs and do your homework. Your mother and I need to talk.
We moved from California to DC, and that was a traumatic experience, moving, being in an environment where there again was a lot of polarization and having to deal with a sensitive, awkward kid and dealing with depression because it's like, well, what is this environment about? Black, white, this, that, and never feeling like I fit in anywhere. And so I had to really develop my world. Well, what does my world look like? Because the world that I see, I don't particularly fit into. So what does my world look like? Even though as a child I had a dream of hugging the world, you know, because I had that within me. But still, like, how am I going to cope with that which is not serving me? I need to create a world that serves me. And I guess that has been the journey.
Hello, my name is Ron Williams, and I'm 8 and 1/4 years old. And hello, and yeah. So macho man, yeah. I want to be a macho man. Will be a macho man, yeah. I want to be a macho man. So my mommy, daddy, and I come from California, and we in DC now. And I'm very, very shy. I know you don't think so, but I am shy. And so one day, the new neighborhood kids came over, and I didn't know how to introduce myself. So there was a big pack at the front of the house, and so I said, I'll draw my name in the dirt. That's how I'll do. So I just did, and that's it. Right. And then those kids came over and they looked at it, and one of them took their foot and wiped it off. I didn't like that. Hey, you want to hear a song? It's dirty. Okay. So she was going around the corner doing 90, and the chain broke. She sipped off the grass with a kick down off her ass and the titties hanging out. Just broke. Yeah. And me and my friend Casey Man, and we used to play secret agent. We doing all these adventures, and we be hitting all the villains, shooting all the bad guys, kill the bad guys. And then we save the day, and then go make out with the women. Yeah. So there was a girl. Yeah, her name is Mary, and she was burnt, and they call her Mary the Burnt Girl. And I used to take up for her because my name is Ron Kippen Williams. And so I used to go up to him. I say, "Leave her alone! Leave her alone! Leave her alone!" me alone. I hate being little. They're always picking on me. Can't stand it. But that's okay. Because I'm going to be the $6 million man. I'm going to have my own parts. And I'm going to go knock them all out. You're going to see me like this. My name is Ron Kippy Williams, and you better not mess with me!
I actually was very standoffish in terms of talking about my personal narrative. I'm like, why do you want to know about me? Let's talk about the issues. Let's talk about ways in which we can change the society and what it can be instead of the way it is. And over, people kept coming back to me saying, well, what about you? And so I realized that I was actually doing the antithesis of what I wanted. I was actually creating a distance with my audience instead of bringing them closer to me. So finally I said, okay, well, let me craft this some way. Let me figure this out. So I started with my journey into the rock and roll scene, particularly as a black kid, and all of that goes into it, which is very interesting. I was Afro-punk before there was an Afro-punk movement. I was a kid like, the one or two black guys, in the concerts, in the scene. And we look at each other going like, it was either that or we were like avoiding each other because we didn't want to pin like, okay, well, this is the two brothers, that kind of thing. It's very interesting, satirical, complex situations that go on with that, and I've been in love with rock and roll since I was like 11 years old, until I stumbled upon a rock station. I'm like, yeah, this is my music. So it's interesting dealing with being black, being in the scene, identity, and being accused of trying to be white, not being black enough, and on the other side, well, you're cool for a black guy, that kind of thing. So all those dynamics going on, and so and another into, okay, well, I'm trying to not only fit but be accepted and to have a voice. It's like, what, I'm going to be the silenced black guy in the scene? So it's like, any scene that you're in, you always have to deal with that idea of, trying to not only be accepted but not to be silent, to be solvent in your identity, and not to give up any of those things. So from I think the discovery of rock and roll through getting into the punk scene and industrial gothic scene, and going through dealing with the parents' judgments and society's judgments, and dealing with how am I going to cope with this? Because I was very depressed about it, and the way I dealt with my depression was eating. Which is interesting because I was out there dancing and then I was eating, and I was dancing and I was eating. There was conflict all the time, and so I got to the point to where I said, well, wait a minute, all of this is crap, and I've got to break my way through, and also to discover, because I was in DC, bands like Bad Brains, and then I came across Living Colour and 24/7 Spies and Fishbone, and I'm like, wow, there are people like me out here, that have their own brain, that are free thinkers, that do their own thing, and they're not trying to be anybody else, they're just being themselves. So that really has been my journey, from when I was a child on the way through, and I'm still there, I still rock out, and I have my dreads, and I do my thing, and I'm for human rights. Other heroes are like Michael Franti, Ben Harper, and so many others who we craft the world, we craft the narrative of the world the way we see fit, and we're not going to try to fit anymore. So, I don't know, I guess, like a lot of people, I go to all the fast food joints, you know what I'm saying? I know all the menus by heart,
go to McDonald's, get the number one Big Mac fries and a Coke. Then I go to Burger King, get the number one double Whopper with cheese, fries and a Pepsi. I go to Wendy's, I get a single classic cheese, fries and a root beer, I do all that, and then if the places are closed, like after hours, then I go to the 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? And I go to the back where they have the refrigerators and they have the big sandwiches, and I get this the bacon sandwich, the bacon cheeseburger, right? And it's a big fucking cheese. I'm telling you, it's fucking huge, right? And so it would have like two. I mean, they call it meat, but it ain't meat. All right, two patties with the cheese, right? And then they had this brown sauce, like it wouldn't move. It was just like a big pot of sauce, like right there, right? Like you could move it, it wouldn't move. So I would get that, and I pop it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, right? And then after that, I would get the ketchup, mustard, the mayonnaise, the relish, the onions, right? And then I would go, with the chili cheese, you get the chili for your tacos and shit. So I would go and I would get the chili, and I would get the cheese. I'll put all that on this big cheeseburger. It's the grossest, nastiest fucking thing that you can eat, and I would eat that shit. Then I would get like the cheese curls, and I would get like fuck Morgan Spurlock in that super size. I would get the super size like 64-ounce cherry Coke, right? And I would maul that shit, and I would get into my car like fucking. I look like Quasimodo, man, like pumped over and shit, like I'd be all in that shit, man. And I mean, I'd have shit dripping, you know what I'm saying? Truckers look at me like, you want to eat that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're an addict, I never said that about myself. So I guess that's it, man. Because when you're depressed, and you're trying to deal with your depression, trying to deal with society, fucking people, and I guess some people eat, some people drink, some people do drugs. I eat, and it's just you get tired of day in and day out dealing with the fucking pain, man. Why can't people just accept people for who they are, man? We all do this tolerance, man. I'm gonna fucking tolerate you, to me that's such a condescending, arrogant fucking thing, to ask, to say, well, I'm just gonna tolerate you. I really have no respect for you, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna tolerate you and, put you over here somewhere, I'm not a fucking marginal person, man. I'm a whole human being, you know what I mean? I'm a real thing, with real feelings. I got some real shit going on with me. I want to contribute, you know what I'm saying? I am somebody, not do that fucking Jesse Jackson thing, man. No, I am somebody, you know what I'm saying? Just don't fucking tolerate me, fucking accept me, man. That's what's fucking wrong with this world, man. No acceptance. So people just put a whole bunch of shit on each other. And I'm fucking tired of it, man. I guess I just eat, not have to deal with all that shit. Just fucking insulate that shit, because otherwise, man, who fucking knows what I be doing, man. I just want people to love each other, man. I don't have all the answers. I just want people to step outside their shit, man. There is no fucking box. There is no box, man. That's the myth. Y'all got the same Got all the same, one thing. Fuck this bullshit. And I think if people start treating each other like that, we would have to drink, we have to do drugs, we have to eat, we don't do any of this stuff, man. Slashing ourselves, all that kind of shit. None of that. I don't mean to get all riled up, man. I don't know. I think we can do better. With all humility, I can finally proclaim that I am the master of my destiny. The journey to this victory has been long. Many hoped it was one I would never see. I've had my closest and dearest partners manipulating me with their own fears, burdening me with their dead weight, taking credit for my blood, sweat, and tears. I've dirty, rotten scoundrels. With all humility, I can finally proclaim that I'm the master of my destiny. The journey to this victory has been long. Many hoped it was one I would never see. I've had my closest and dearest partners manipulating me with their own fears, burdening me with their dead weight, taking credit for my blood, sweat, and tears. I've had dirty, rotten scoundrels pulling the wool over my eyes, taking my kindness for weakness, creating vicious rumors of my demise. With Iago to my right and again to my left, with Brutus at my back and Judas at my chest, I've had my own flesh and blood being ashamed because I do me, trying to pull the rug from under my feet and douse the fire that fueled my dreams when none of that matters now. They've all been cast aside and blessed away. And as long as I honor and follow my tuition, they will all be kept at bay. All I have to do is close my eyes and all the evil brutality that exists against me and never defeat what I have inside. I know I'm not a mistake. Because I'm a child of the Most High, all those evil forces against me is an indication I'm doing something right. I know how beautiful I am because God doesn't make any junk. So when I set my feet down, I'm like Savion Glover because I'm bringing the noise, I'm bringing the funk. I don't need anyone's validation. Honor and respect is what I demand. I don't need an S on my chest to know that I'm a Superman. I'm shaking out the ceilings. I'm shaking out all the walls. I'm shaking out the floors and I'm shaking out the halls. You will feel my thunder and lightning. And when it's a trail that I blaze, like John Henry, I've got the hammer and the world won't be the same. Never again will I be defeated. Surrender is not in my creed, for I am not a slave, I am a master. And greatness is my ultimate destiny.
What would your life be like if you couldn't read a book? If you couldn't watch a film? If you couldn't go to the theater? If you couldn't see a dance performance? If you couldn't go to a museum? If you can do any of those things, if you couldn't create yourself, if you couldn't go to a space and paint, and sculpt and sing, what would your life be like? What do you think the world's life would be like? Art is the glue that holds society together. And even though in our internal space we hold it very dear, we commercialize it and then we trivialize it. And then we say, well, it's a hobby, it's over here somewhere, you could do that on your own time. But art involves creativity. Creativity is how we shape the world.
As always, I appreciate you coming to the corner of Culture in Maine to spend some time with us. If you have acts you'd love to see on the show, if you're interested, if you want to give us some suggestions, please don't hesitate to send us your ideas. You're what makes the show, and we do this for you. You can email us, cultureinmaine@gmail.com. Or you can follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Culture in Maine. Follow us on Twitter @Culture in Maine. Or you can go to our website, WRCT.tv. Just click on Show Profiles for Channel 18 and Culture in Maine. Everything is right there before you. As always, we need your sponsorships and donations. That's what makes this show happen. So if you are so inclined, if you like what you saw, please visit SaveYorkTV.com. That's SaveYorktV.com so that you can make a donation to keep this program happening. Thank you so much and have a great week.
I'm really excited about this. I love the atmosphere. I just want to know more about it.
I see it evolving, changing, growing, and I like it.
It's fleeting. Once it happens, once a song comes out, once a poem comes out, it'll never come out the same.
Some of the Culture in Maine is documenting what's going on in a way that will have that lasting staying power.
It just breeds healthy growth. It's a necessity. It's a necessity, yes.